The Labor Market Impact Assessment, LMIA, is a crucial part of the process for obtaining a Canadian work permit. Employers in Canada must secure an LMIA to demonstrate that they cannot find a suitable Canadian citizen or permanent resident to fill a job vacancy, allowing them to hire a foreign worker. For foreign nationals, obtaining a Canadian work permit through the LMIA process can open the doors to working and gaining valuable experience in Canada. This guide will walk you through the steps to apply for a Canadian work permit through an LMIA. As we dive into this topic, remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with others to spread the information. Your support helps the message reach those who may need it, and God will count this as your contribution to helping others. 1. What is an LMIA? An LMIA, Labor Market Impact Assessment, is a document issued by Employment and Social Development Canada, ESDC, that gives a Canadian employer permission to hire a foreign worker. The LMIA confirms that there is a need for a foreign worker because no Canadian worker is available to fill the position. A positive LMIA, sometimes called a confirmation letter, is required before a foreign national can apply for a work permit in most cases. The employer must provide proof that they attempted to hire Canadian workers by posting job ads and going through the required recruitment process. Second steps to apply for a Canadian work permit through LMIA. Step 1. Securing a job offer. The first step in applying for a Canadian work permit through the LMIA process is securing a valid job offer from a Canadian employer. The job offer must be in a sector that requires foreign labor, and the employer must demonstrate that they have been unable to find a Canadian to fill the position. The job offer should include the following details: job title and duties, wage or salary, location of employment, duration of the employment contract, if temporary, other conditions related to the job. B. Step 2. Employer applies for an LMIA. Once you have a job offer, your Canadian employer must apply for an LMIA from ESDC. This step is crucial because it shows that the employer has made efforts to recruit Canadians but has been unsuccessful. Here's what the employer needs to do. Submit the LMIA application. The employer must complete and submit the appropriate LMIA application form for either high-wage or low-wage positions. Provide proof of recruitment efforts. Employers must prove that they advertise the job to Canadian citizens and permanent residents for a specified period before resorting to hiring a foreign worker. Pay the LMIA processing fee. Employers typically pay a 1,000 Canadian dollar fee for each LMIA application, although there are exceptions for certain job categories such as caregivers. Wait for the LMIA decision. Processing times for an LMIA can vary, but generally take several weeks. If the LMIA is approved, the employer will receive a positive LMIA letter, which will allow you to proceed with the work permit application. C. Step 3. Apply for a work permit. With the positive LMIA in hand, the next step is to apply for a work permit. You will need the following documents to complete your application: a copy of the positive LMIA from your employer, the job offer letter, proof of qualifications for the job, such as education or relevant work experience, a valid passport, make sure it's up to date, language test results if required for the job, any other required documents based on your country of residence or the specific job category. You can apply for your work permit either online, through the IRCC Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada portal, at a visa office, in your country or region if online submission is not an option, at a Canadian port of entry, in certain cases, such as for citizens of visa-exempt countries. D. Step 4. Biometrics and medical examination. Depending on your nationality and the type of job, you may be required to provide biometric information, fingerprints and a photo, and undergo a medical examination to prove that you are in good health and fit to work in Canada. You will be notified if these are required as part of your application. 3. After submitting your work permit application. Once you submit your work permit application, Processing times can vary depending on several factors, including your home country, the type of work permit, and the volume of applications. Generally, the process takes several weeks to a few months. During the review process, Canadian immigration officers will evaluate the positive LMIA provided by your employer, your qualifications for the job, your medical and background check results, your biometric data, if applicable. Once approved, you will receive your work permit, which will allow you to start working for the employer in Canada. Be aware that the work permit is usually employer-specific, meaning it is tied to that specific job and employer. If you wish to change employers, you would need to apply for a new work permit and possibly go through the LMIA process again. 4. Rights and protections for foreign workers. Foreign workers in Canada enjoy the same rights and protections as Canadian workers. This includes fair wages, safe working conditions, and protection against abuse or exploitation by employers. If an employer mistreats or exploits you, you can report them to Canadian authorities. You also have the right to leave the job and seek employment elsewhere, though this may require a new work permit. 5. Pathways to permanent residency. Working in Canada on an LMIA-based work permit can be a stepping stone to permanent residency. Programs such as the Canadian Experience Class, CEC, and Provincial Nominee Programs, PNPS, are available for temporary foreign workers who wish to transition to permanent resident status. Applying for a Canadian work permit through the LMIA process can be an excellent opportunity to work and live in Canada. It's important to ensure that your employer follows the correct steps to obtain a positive LMIA and that you provide all the necessary documentation for your work permit application. Once you have the work permit, you can begin your Canadian work journey, with potential pathways to permanent residency down the road. If you found this guide helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with others who may benefit from this information. Every share helps the message reach more people who are looking for opportunities to work and live in Canada.